right, so welcome queer people. This video is about just unashamedly confident, just being unabashed, if that's a word, confident. Okay, I'm over here making words because I could care less, because I'm that confident that I just do and say whatever I want, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk about confidence is because I feel like a place that I've been on my queer journey and the queers I've encountered online and in person, I get this vibe that, you know, we talk about community, we talk about belonging, we talk about togetherness, and we talk about empowerment, but I don't always experience many queers that are very confident in their power. Like, where is this empowerment that we all fought for and achieved? When I encounter a queer individual, like sometimes out and about, you know, the experience is pretty different than what you see on like a lesbian TV show or like masks with big egos. You know, you see people that are second guessing themselves, low self-esteem, bad habits, mental illness, very low paying jobs. I would say like a lot of the Republicans and conservatives and all of them just label any like liberals that look like very artsy or whatever, pierced, tatted, fighting for rights, low income. They label all of those people like queers, and just, you know, what I will say is that the reason why I'm making this video is because last week I was at dinner, I would say a week and a half ago. I was at dinner with my girlfriend and we went to Clinton Street Bakery in Manhattan. And as we were getting seated, one of the busboys, who was a masked lesbian, sat us down. And as she was seating us in this small restaurant into a booth aisle, she kind of like got close to me so that I can pass and, you know, get seated. And what I want to say is that when she was just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Sorry for what?" She's like, "Is that okay? I just got in your space." Some people are not okay with that, but the way she said it, I just felt like, this is weird. Why did you make this weird? Like, you know, like literally, like there's really not much to say. Like if someone's passing you and it's a tight space, like you get it, is just what it is. But that energy that she had was very small. It was very people pleasing. It was very apologetic. It was, you know, and the way she said, "Well, yeah, just some people don't like, you know, people in their space, they get picky about that. And, you know, I apologize." And the fact that it became like a mini little thing was just kind of awkward. And I just didn't like, I see that she was being courteous, and being courteous amongst ourselves and each other is everything. It's great to be courteous, but for her to immediately apologize, for her to immediately assume I don't want her in my space, immediately make it a little weird, made me feel a little weird. And I was just like, girl, like none of this needs to happen. I don't know who those people are, but that's just extra, you know, like like you're sorry for existing, like you're sorry for taking up space, like you're what? And I will say that's not the first time that I've encountered people in the queer community who are just overly nice, and like they have this energy that you can kill me, please, you can put me on a cross for saying this, you can hate me, whatever. But I will say that in my queer community, like I don't see many of my sisters and my brothers that are very strong and confident, like stand tall, like be who you are, take up space. I'm not going to say bump into people in New York City, which you probably can, but be unapologetic about who you are. Like girl, what? Like I graced you with my presence. Like that's the kind of mentality I have. You can call it narcissistic, you can call it whatever, but that is how I feel. I will never apologize for taking up space. And I feel like some of us in the queer community play small. We want to be invisible. We want to like not be seen while we're out and about in this straight, regular society community, you know? And I just want to say that I'm not saying be flamboyant. I'm not saying like be obnoxious about your identity. But I am saying like never in your life put yourself at that position where you assume that someone else doesn't want your presence. You assume less of yourself, because that's what it is when you're playing small. You're assuming less of yourself. And I'm telling you right now, as a queer woman, man, they, them, non-binary person, whoever you are that is watching this, I will say that you didn't come this far to be who you are, to feel sorry about that, to shrink, to have low self-esteem, to have confidence issues. You don't walk out into the street and assume people don't want to see you or hear you breathe. Like that is abusive to your soul, okay? So I'm just here to point out that some people are not going to like you. Some people are not going to be they call it a gay triarchy, you know, which is really upsetting to me. Because if there's any archy going on, it's just idiocracy. That's what I would say right now in 2025 in the USA. But what I will say is just don't play small. You didn't come this far to exploring who you are and expressing it to apologize for it, okay? And I feel like I'm a pretty well-accomplished individual, and I've been on both ends of the spectrum. Like I used to want to be invisible when I first started, you know, being more mask presenting and less femme presenting, because that was my reality for a few years. I was femme and everything was just easy and whatever. And then when I started to transition a little bit to mask, I was a little insecure about the changes and my identity. And I'm a mask presenting lesbian, by the way. I'm a she, her. My name is Izzy. So yeah, I wasn't like fully confident, but I'm here to tell you, like, I wasted years just feeling like that, like needing a permission slip from somebody in society or a social at a party, or the girlfriend looking for a girlfriend so that I was like validated as like a normal lesbian because I had a girlfriend and not just like a creepy lesbian that wants to get in your pants. I don't know. Like I had so many weird ideas of being queer and thought less of myself sometimes, and because that's what society told me I was, and made me feel small because I was part of a minority. And you know, my family was against queerness and same-sex relationships and stuff like that. So it wasn't easy for me to change my lifestyle, to change outwardly how I present. It wasn't easy for me to cut my hair. It wasn't easy for me to say this is who I'm dating, you know, in my family, and stick with it. And it's not a phase. Like this is really like, I'm gonna marry a woman, you know. It wasn't easy to do that. So I get the challenge for you other gays out there, and I'm just here to say again, it's 2025. Just live your life, and never apologize for taking up space. And don't be obnoxious about taking up space, but don't take up less to make anybody else more comfortable, because they're making you uncomfortable, and your comfort should matter first. Your comfort, yours. This is your life. You're the main character, okay? Be kind to people, courteous, but don't put other people first, you know. Be who you are. All right, so that's all I got for this episode. Stay tuned for more just empowerment, motivation, whatever I feel like speaking about to you all. I do feel called to support my community in any way I can. And again, if some of my beliefs are a little funny, like stop playing small, don't be a sheep, you know, just go out there. You know, this is how I feel, you know, and this is who I am. So stay tuned if you want more.